ישועתי, לך נאה לשבח. תיקון בית תפילתי, ושם תודה נזבח. לעת אחי מטבע, ניצח המנבח. אז אגמור שיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח. האוצר הנפשי, ביגון כוחי גילה. חיים נראו בקושי, בשיעבוד מלכותיה. ובידו הגדולה, הוציא את הסגולה. חיל פרעה וכל זרעו, יד כאבן נמצולה. Let's go! קודשו הביאני, וגם שם לא שקטתי. ובנוגס והגלני, כי זרים עבדתי. ויין רעל מסכתי, עם עד שעבדתי. קץ בבל זרו בבל, לקץ 70 נושעתי. עוד פניו בראש ביקש, הגגי בין המדעתה. וניתן לו לפח ולמוקש, וגאוותו נשבעתה. ראש ימיני נישאת, אויב שמו מחיתה. עוד בנה וקניינה, על העץ תליתה. ידנים נקבצו עליי, אזי בימי חשמלי. ופרצו חומות מגדלי, וצימו כל השמיים. ומי נותר קלקני, נושא נס לשושני. Reginer ימי שמונה, קדוש שיר ענני. Let's go! זרוע קודשך, וקרב קץ הישוע. מקום נקמת דם עבדיך, מהאומה הרשע. כי ארכה לנו השעה, ואין קץ לימי הרע. אחרי אדמון, צל צלמון, הקם לנו רואים שיבה. אחרי אדמון, צל צלמון, הקם לנו רואים שיבה.
So the song Maoz Tzur, it's a song about redemption. It's a Jewish ancient song that looks at our history, and the song is actually made from Mordechai. There are like 6 parts of the song, that each one is about a story that happened to us as a nation, as people, and the difficulty, the struggle, the boldness, and the triumph of being saved. And I love that song because it's like from my childhood, it's from my nation, it's my and it's really about our triumph over our struggles. When I was 4, I remember being in my house in Israel. I was sitting on the floor on the carpet, and some little me 4, big person, my mom, comes over and starts yelling at me, like really, really yelling at me. I didn't know why. Today I actually know why. I asked her a few months ago, and so she was screaming, she was scared, but I didn't know that. So let's go back, right? I was 4 years old. I'm sitting on the, just get that I'm sitting on the carpet. My little brother, my baby brother, is on the couch. My mom walks in and screams at me like nothing else. I'm little. The big person is screaming at me. All I know is that there is something wrong. There's something really wrong, and I decided, right, what's wrong? It's me, right? She's yelling at me. So since then, I've been collecting evidence throughout my life. There's something wrong. Like the little kid that's validating that there's something wrong. And I literally, until today, I wake up in the morning and remind me about that in the end, because I'll come back to the waking up. But like, I just try to find, like, why is there something wrong? Like, what did I do wrong? Where can I apologize? And it shows up in my life, like being a big people pleaser, right? And in relationships, in romantic relationships especially, when I like someone, I find somewhere, I'm always looking for, where am I wrong? What did I do wrong? Where should I apologize? It's maybe I'm wrong that I'm polyamorous. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was too this or too that. Like, there's something wrong, and it shows up in my life. And it's exhausting, right? When I was 7 years old, I was in the corner of the sandbox. I was actually right behind the sandbox by the bushes. And in the sandbox, there was this little girl. Her name was Edna. She looked like me a little bit, same skin color. And the other boys were bullying her. They called her Edna the cow, Edna the cow. At that moment, what I made that mean is that they're humiliating her, and that could be me, and I could be humiliated. And I actually remember, the 4-year-old, it took me a while to figure out. I figured it out at Landmark. But I really remember being 7, being at the corner of the sandbox and deciding that nobody's gonna humiliate me, and I'm gonna do everything possible to never be humiliated. And I developed throughout my life, I've been living, I've been collecting, I've been finding evidence and just shaping myself so I will never be humiliated, right? I became a facilitator. I go to Harvard. I build this persona that's never going to be humiliated. And when I was 11, my mother took me and my sister to get bathing suits. So my sister and I were getting bathing suits. My little sister got a rainbow bathing suit. And I was told to get a black bathing suit because my thighs were getting bigger. And what I decided at that moment was that there's something defective in my body, and I don't belong, right? I need to cover up. And I've been collecting evidence, right, to say, hey, this is true. So when my father said that my sister is a naturally good swimmer because of her body type, you see, I don't belong, and there's something wrong with my body. And when someone said that my sister is naturally bright, validating this over and over, and I had an eating disorder all my life. I starved myself and exercised because there's something wrong with my body, and I don't belong, and I wanted to belong. I mean, do I look like someone who belongs? Right? I developed myself based on the decisions that I made in those stories. And in the Landmark Forum, which is this 3-day really intense program, on the second day you start digging into, those stories come up, and you really get how this, so I've been living with the story of a 4-year-old, a 7-year-old, and an 11-year-old who were controlling my life. You really get how there's really nothing there, and it's whatever you create. I actually have this ring on my finger. You see, it's missing a stone. It's a little bit ugly, but it reminds me that there's nothing there. Like there's nothing in the future. It's what I put in the future. Right? I came from humiliated. I came from, or never being humiliated. I came from being wrong, and I came from not belonging and defective. And what I created, there's really nothing wrong with me. And self-validated. I created self-validated. What? Nothing wrong. And I still wake up sometimes in the morning with those thoughts. I still sometimes wake up and like get those, there's something wrong, and I start finding what's wrong. I'm like, oh right, my ex left me. Why did he leave me? There's something wrong with me, right? And those thoughts still come up in the morning, but I got how real it is that those are just thoughts. And every time I put them aside, I'm like, oh, what do I want to create? I created being related, right? Like before I didn't belong, and I created being related and passionate. Because it's what I create, there's nothing there, it's what I create. I created being related, I created being self-validated, and I created belonging. And that's what I put in my future, and that's what I created. And what I got at that moment, I realized that for the past 30 years, I've been pushing my sister aside. Because she's perfect, and I'm dealing with being defective, and my little sister's been trying to be my friend all of our lives. And I've been pushing her away. Stop dealing with, like stop coming up to me like, you little perfect thing. Like, I'm dealing with being defective. And I just got that I've been relating to her like that. And until the forum, I always thought that I'm not close with my sister because we're just different. But at the forum, I got that I had this story all my life. And because of that story, I've been related to my sister like that. So I met up with my sister, and I told her, I'm sorry. I took responsibility for my story. I told her, this is what happened. This is what I made it mean, and that's what I decided. And I've been pushing you away all my life, and it's my responsibility. I took responsibility for my story. And I told her that that story is meaningless. That story is something I made up. And I'm creating now being related. It made the world to me because I got a whole new way of seeing my sister. And until now, me and my sister would speak maybe once or twice a year, right? Because I had it that we're different. But now, when I created being related, we talk almost every day. So I got my sister back. And I got so many things because I gave up those stories. And the song that I'm singing, Maoz Tzur, it's a history song about how, they tortured us and right, all the trouble that we went through, and then we're saved, right? We're saved by the Creator, or we've been saved by the Creator, and right. And all the trouble that we gone through history, the Jewish people, but this is a song about history of how we have these stories that we go through. They did this to us. We've been victims. We've been dealing with things. And then, in the song, each part of the song is what we were dealing with. And then that part of the story, and then the part where the Creator opened up an open space for us. The Creator, redeemed us, redemption, all those stories of history that are really kind of, I'm relating that to like, who's the Creator? In the Bible, it says that we are in the image of God. We're the creators. We have this ability to create. And when we look at our own stories of they did this to us, we've been victims, it's all these stories that we're dealing with. Right? We're dealing with our own disagreement in our head of you can't do this, you can't do that, because we have all the reasons and all these excuses. We have all the reasons and circumstances to not live the life that we want. But then we just get present to how this is our story. And there's nothing in the future, and we become the Creator, and we save ourselves. So that's how I'm relating to this song right now. And I was singing the song when when I found out that my fiance was lying to me and cheating on me, and I was broken. It's a Hanukkah story, and I found out on Hanukkah. I just remember crying by the candles, and I was singing the song and crying. And yesterday I spoke with them because I spoke with him and I spoke with the new girl, and I decided I'm creating whatever I want to create. I create being related and passionate, and I shared the forum with them because I know that it could help them. It could help anybody, and it's the reality that I'm creating. And so this song has another level of symbol to me now, because the song is about the stories of the past and how God saves us. But since we're in the image of God, we have the stories and the history of us, and then we have what we create, and that's a story of redemption, and it's a song of redemption. And it's just amazing that you could create that all the time. There's these stories that control you, and in the song Maoz Tzur, there are all these things that in your life that you really get, that they're like the song is about stories of difficulty and triumph, right? Like this majestic hand, He saved us. But it's really talking about God, and God is the creator, and we are in the image of God, so we are the creators. And it's what we create. And so we have these stories of like, they tried to enslave us, or they tried to this, they tried to that. Those are the stories. And then who's creating that? Right? It's whatever we create. And so for me, it's a song about redemption, and the creator is me. We are the creators. And I just celebrate that in the song. So what do you want to create today? Often we just live our lives like victims. I think this song has a lot of moving out of the victim. This happened to me, so this is how I am. So there's a passive victim, and there's the active agent. This is my life, this is what I create. And everything else doesn't mean anything. It's things that I made mean things. And what do I choose to create? Because it's empty. It's what you make of it. It's what you make of it. So what do you want to create? What do you create? What are your stories that you're letting go of? What are your stories that you're letting go of? What do you want to create? Knowing that those stories don't mean anything, and you can do anything. Go to Landmark. What are your stories that you're letting go of? What do you want to create? Knowing that those stories don't mean anything, and you can do anything.
Maoz Tzur ישועתי, לך נאה לשבח, תיקום בית תפילתי, ושם תודה נזבח, לעת הכי מטבח, ניצר המנבח, אז אגמור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח, רעות צבא נפשי, ביגון כוחי קהילה, חיי נערו בקושי, בשעבוד מלכות עגלה, ובידו הגדולה, הוציא את הסגולה, חיל פרעה וכל זרעו, ירדו כאבן נמצולה. We have these stories that we go through. They did this to us.
we've been victims, we've been dealing with things, and there's the active agent. This is my life, this is what I create.
קודשו הביאני, וגם שם לא שקטתי, ובנוגס והגלני, כי זרים עבדתי, ויין רעל מסכתי, כמעט שעבדתי, קץ בבל זרו בבל, לקץ 70 נושעתי, עוד קומת בראש ביקש, הקקי בן המטאטה, וניתן לו לפח ולמוקש, וגאוותו נשבעת, ראש ימיני ניסית, אויב שמו מחית, רוב בניו וקנייניו, על העץ תלית, ידנים נקבצו עליי, אזי בימי חשמני, ופרצו חומות מגדלי, וצימו כל השמיים, ומי נותר קנקני, נושא נס לשושני, מי בינה ימי שמונה, קבלו שיר ענני.
I think this song has a lot of moving out of the victim. This happened to me, so this is how I am. And that's a story of redemption, and it's a song of redemption. It's what you make of it. So what do you want to sing today?
זרוע קודשך, וקרב קץ הישועה, מקום נקמת דם עבדיך, מאומה הרשע, כי ארכה לנו השעה, ואין קץ לימי הרע. אחרי אדמון בצל צלמון, הקם לנו רואים שיבה, אחרי אדמון בצל צלמון, הקם לנו רואים שיבה.
You could do anything.